Mauritanian company RHT Holdings and Uganda's Tondeka Metro company have signed an agreement to bring state-of-the-art technology and fleet management support that is expected to transform public transport in Kampala over the next 3 years. Siddharth Sharma, CEO of RHT Holding Group, shed light on this and more on enhancing mobility on the continent.
Actually signed a technical partnership with Tondeka Metro Corporation. So what it involves is that we are going to do a full knowledge transfer to them, and we are going to build a capacity plan so that in a couple of years the local team in Uganda can take over.
Now, in the agreement, it's supposed to bring a state-of-the-art technology as well as a fleet management. How much resources are you planning to relocate in order for this to be achieved in the next 3 years?
Yeah, the contract is for 3 years. So we are going to depute a CEO, a head of operations, and a technology head. And they're going to be posted in Kampala. And we are going to be supporting the operations with a fleet management platform that we have here. And we are going to design all their operational processes.
Now, what is the financial cost of all transport system that you're looking to replace? Looking at the current state and the current way they operate, what are you really aiming to change, and what is the impact that you aim to bring about?
So Tondeka Metro Corporation is going to invest $160 million in this project. This involves the procurement of 980 King Long buses. These are semi-low floor buses of 12 meters long, and each bus has a capacity of carrying about 90 passengers. So there are also 6 bus terminals that are going to be constructed. We're also going to be helping the team of TMC to design and build a workshop on 3 acres of land. So this project is a game changer of some sorts. As you can imagine, Kampala is in urgent need for a safe, reliable transport system. And this bus rapid transit system aims at precisely reducing congestion, improving air quality, and also, most importantly, reducing the commute time to the central business district for passengers. So this project has been in gestation for a long time. A lot of groundwork has been put by the TMC team, and we, as you might be aware, we have a long-standing record. We are a preeminent bus transport company in Mauritius with 66 years. We have deep knowledge of location and cashless technologies. We've got a very good driver training curriculum. So we are going to be able to assist our friends in Kampala to really, offer world-class bus transport services quite quickly.
Looking at the key role that the transport sector plays, not only in Uganda, but here on the continent, how much of a potential will unlocking the transport sector in the country add to the economy?
Well, one of the critical conditions for economic growth is good connectivity. And there is obviously a substantial capex that's being deployed by TMC. But at the same time, there are some important conditions for success. And one is that essentially the framework, the road transport framework has to be relooked. We should probably think of introducing congestion charging of some sorts to limit the number of private cars going in the CBD. We should also look at the possibility of probably having on some stretches dedicated lanes for buses so that the trip time can be reduced. We should also see how we can probably introduce technologies like scooting system which will give priority to buses at the traffic lights. But more importantly, it's to really integrate with the other stakeholders. So we should also look at how the taxi industry can be reorganized so that they can feed the BRT. And in some sense, this is going to be a win-win situation for all parties, because any transporter knows that shorter distances, your revenue per kilometer is far more interesting. And then obviously, we need to convince the existing car owners to come on the BRT. So I think that there are 6 bus terminals that are going to be positioned in strategic location. And if we can also ensure that, there is adequate park and ride facilities, then I think the shift from the car to public transport will be feasible. So we have the capex on one side, but we also need certain policies to come and help support this transition.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you that in my next question. Looking at the key areas that you have touched on, what policy recommendations would you recommend to be put in place to streamline the transport ecosystem?
Yeah, so I think, the introduction of the BRT should not be seen as competition to the existing transport operators. Rather, we should look at how can we reorganize the framework so it works in the benefit of everyone. So I think we will need policies that will bring in tighter integration of the taxis with the BRT. That's one thing. Then second thing, like we said, there has to be an economic cost if you choose that you're going to take your private car to go into the CBD.